That was a bad start. It was muted. Hello, everyone. We are back again with another stream here, talking about Vaughn Coleman and his book Phenomenova issue 2, Down to the Core. He's back again for his second appearance, and we're gonna get into it as soon as we let a couple people roll in. We're gonna get right down to it, and I'm sure we're gonna have an awesome discussion about Phenomenova issue number 2, as well as what's gonna be in on the future of the Phenomenova series, and what questions you guys want to bring in, please do so. We got Zero Smoke coming in first, saying I'm muted and it's better now. Perfect. It's first, I'm muted, and then it's better now. Yeah, Vaughn's actually in the back of the stream and told me that I was muted. So great start to a stream as always. Coming in with Master Hobo, thank you for being a channel member, my good sir. Says, greetings from the homeless shelter. Check on your car for this stream, dude. Yeah, I checked on the car before I started. It's fine. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the backstory of that whole thing as well. So thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. So Vaughn obviously had an amazing campaign with issue number 1. Looking to be a great campaign for issue number 2. I expected Vaughn to be I expected Vaughn would be muted, but not you, man. Girl, I muted myself really badly on a different stream, so I kind of expected it to happen once again. But issue number 1 was absolutely great. The fact that we have more, getting those father figure type stories again with things like, Phenomenova issue number 1, as well as things like Heroic Tales number 1. But we're not going to talk about that because we don't have John, but we have Vaughn in the back. So let's see who else is coming in here. It says Marcus Esser, welcome into the stream. Thank you for being a channel member, my good sir. I appreciate you as always for your support on the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys share the stream out, like the stream, push us out into that YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here and you're watching, subscribe for more, of course. You guys leave your comments and we'll get into it in just a little bit. You're fine being the best hobo? You're fine with being the best hobo. Okay. I appreciate you. Because I actually just realized that I did put 3 videos out today, so notifications are going to be jank because they only allow you 3 notifications. So please, 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 please share the stream out to all your friends and family. Let everyone know that Renowned is bringing on Mr. Vaughn Coleman for issue number 2 of Phenomenova. Vaughn's breaking someone's car at the moment? Yes. Yes. It's not mine. It's not mine. It might be yours. It might be your your cardboard box car that you might be breaking into. You might be breaking into your cardboard box car that you drew windows on and drew a door on as I steal your lunch money. I appreciate y'all for being here. So let's see what we got. That. I need to stop sharing. That's what we do. Stop sharing. I just have my hobos carry me everywhere. So like, do they form a ladder? Do they form a ladder and they just carry you? Like they put you on one of those like where they're like cooking, one of those little like ladders with rope, or they just carry you that way. Oh boy. We're gonna give Vaughn some more time to break into some more cars, and make sure that hide your hobos, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your wife, and hide your hobos. Yeah. Just a piggyback ride, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately. Hobo's got to stick together, right? I feel like we're good. I feel like once we get into it, we get some more people in here. So let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend. We call him, what's his name? Vaughn Cloudman. Hydra Phenomenova books too. Yes, yes. Let's bring in the Vaughn Cloudman, the guy who is the best person for the job to play a live action Cloud Strife for a Final Fantasy VII live action movie. Let's bring them all in.
Oh man, that's a compliment. I'd love that. I'd love that. When I was doing my 2-hour video essay, which not enough people watch, but also YouTube algorithm is a funny thing. I got to do like a little voice acting for some of the characters, and I actually thought Cloud is like kind of more difficult because he's so reserved and he's very different from me, which is probably why I like him so much.
He's like that grizzled war veteran.
Not even. He's more like awkward, but trying to sound like a grizzled war veteran is how I describe Cloud. Is Cloud is someone who he wants to be that,
right?
But he's not that, because I mean, once you go through his whole backstory, I don't know. I think he has one of the most fascinating journeys of a main character. But
yeah, he goes through a psychological journey where he believes that all this stuff was happening and he was there with Sephiroth the entire time, and then you come to find out it's a complete mind
yeah,
it's
so
actually
good.
Zach.
It's so good. So wait, is it true? I didn't know that. So there's 3 notifications a day?
Yeah, YouTube only allows 3 notifications a day.
That's probably good, honestly. I'd probably be losing subscribers if they got too many. I almost wonder if I over promote sometimes. But I don't trust the algorithm to do its thing. I really don't.
You can never over promote.
Oh yeah, I mean, I learned
you are your best. You are your best promotion.
So yeah, I learned. I mean, I would send so many emails, so many everything. Marketing takes up so much of the work, and right now, I'm trying different things for issue 2, as well as doubling down on a lot of things that work for issue 1. I mean, I'd love to one day spend less time marketing, but it does allow me to get creative. And I decided, you know what? Let me make videos I actually like.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How about them Crusader Corps?
Oh, Crusader Corps. Yeah, that was great. Honestly, I got to say, best compliment you can give anyone is that when you say, I want more, you know. So to have like one day in and everyone's asking for the Crusader Corps is just great, which is what I'll be honest. So it was when I was coming up with a background, I decided it was going to be set after World War III. Mm-hmm. I was like planning out the world history and what heroes fought during the war and who's in the present. And I realized, oh my God, this needs to be a story. And I was basically writing a World War III story. And I was like, well, why don't I just write the World War III story? And I don't want to say almost, but I did consider actually leading with Crusader Corps. But I felt like to be honest, my heart was just kind of more in Phenomenova. And so I always felt like Crusader Corps is something I want to get to, but I want to keep Phenomenova stable. And once I know that can keep getting worked on, and then I can have Crusader Corps going on as well, that would be ideal for me.
Just give me 1 second.
All right. But that is, yeah, seems to me like a lot of people want that. So that's what I'm working on. And I'll hold down the fort. I'll take control of the stream for a bit. How you guys doing? Recognize most of you guys in the chat. Those of you that I don't recognize, did you guys know I have a YouTube channel? While he's not here, I'll shamelessly self-promote. You should go to Vaughn Coleman and subscribe. He's pretty cool. It's the Cloudman channel. Actually, it's not the Cloudman channel. It's the Coleman channel. You don't get to take over, hobo. You crazy? Yeah, the World War III. No, the World War III is going to be a prequel storyline. Yeah, in addition to, there will be elements of it. Like you'll see more of the Phoenix Senshi and some of her backstory in issue 2 of Phenomenova. But the whole World War III storyline with the Crusader Corps, that will be its own limited series.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I was trying to find my Shakisha Ray and cover, and I was gonna be like, man, we gotta help Vaughn Coleman here riz his way into Shakisha Ray's heart as his Tifa Lockhart, but I couldn't find it. So I went and pulled out
the
my
FF7 one. It's a good
my
one.
FF7 one out of my.
I was just talking to Skasha earlier.
Out of my short box, so.
Yeah. Well, one of the characters is like inspired by her for issue 2. Hotline was that character. Well, in terms of appearance, at least. But the character had already existed, and I just decided between rewrites, I had met her, and I was like, oh, this character, I could improve on this character a bit. And I asked her, I'm like, do you mind? She's like, oh my God, I'd love that if you like modeled the character after me. So I did, and she loves it. But nice. Yeah.
So MSK says this Vaughn date black girls like Shaquille.
Always, like every time there's this race is always brought into it within seconds. It would end, any discussion, he'll be like, oh, he'll be like, I was doing black guy things, and I'm like, what does that mean? And I'll be like, and he doesn't answer you.
That's the MSK way.
Yeah,
he also says, hello, white man in Final Fantasies for losers.
I mean, listen, I've only played. Well, I played 7. I played a decent portion of 6. And I kept doing side quests, and I don't know why, or not of 6, of 15, not even close. And I thought it was all right. I don't know. It just didn't grip me the way 7's story did, personally. But maybe I need to get more into it.
Personally, I didn't finish 15, so
yeah, I didn't either.
I got you.
I just did 7 like ripped me right away with the story.
Oh yeah, you gotta play 10. If you play 7, you gotta play 10, the best one.
10, I've heard 10 is so generally the ones that I hear the most praise for are 6, 7, 8. I hear like either love it or they don't, or somewhere in between. But I hear a lot of talk about 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are the ones I really hear the most discussion about.
Right, because 8 hasn't aged well. That's the problem with 8.
Yeah.
Sex with Women is great, says MSK. What's up, Garfield? Says I just finished watching your latest video. Crazy nonsense. Yeah, we'll talk about that at some point. We need Vaughn and Sakisha to cosplay Cloud and Tifa together. See, that would be awesome. She's very nice.
She is.
I actually met Sakisha Ray, and her mom was there at New York Comic-Con. Yeah. And yeah. I also met the Cloud Man again.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have your copies, you can go ahead and get them signed at cons.
Yeah, that's the one I got. Yeah. To show the people that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be tabling actually at my first con this weekend. So any variants that are left over, they'll be sold at a higher price because obviously the people who backed the campaign deserve the lower price, and they'll be very limited. So
now would that be all 3 variants or just?
Well, there were 4 actually because we added a 4th one at the end for
the buzz cover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They will all be limited. Yeah, and they'll be marked way up in price.
Man.
All right, you got it. So we got Keisha Ray cover, the Final Fantasy VII homage cover, the Rini cover.
That's the one I would want if I could get it.
And the Buzz cover. So there we go. All 4 of those. And then, of course, this one you can keep getting. It's on my the main cover is on my website. You can get the main through the campaign. But the variants you missed out on. So if you don't want to make that mistake again, you can get all the variants. And this time the books are actually cheaper for issue 2 because issue 2 is a shorter book. Mm-hmm. And it's done. It's lettered. I just have to like make sure that I'm happy with all the, like I'm waiting for my editor to give feedbacks on the letters. And then basically we're good to go. We just have to like add the credits page and stuff like that. And then issue 2 will be ready.
Nice. Book could be 30 years away. Chloe says Final Fantasy 15 is a game that's weird to get into the story because the story is segmented between different mediums. Yeah, the anime, the movie, the pocket edition, all that stuff. Marcus Esper says 6 and 7 are peak, and 10 is also great. Yes, hail to Bat Sauce, by the way, because that's
he's all right.
Yeah. Critical Jinger be at MegaCon.
I met him last year. Yeah, I won't be there this year, but I'd hope to table there in 2026.
A lady that's nice to Vaughn. I'm used to him being bullied by them.
Yeah.
How many more finals will there be? I'm sure there's a Final Fantasy 17 being made eventually. Better make some time for 10-hour live stream instead of drawing to get your book done in time for its 40-year deadline. Says.
Well, good thing I don't draw. Good thing I don't draw. Yeah, I would love to get started right on 3, but that obviously depends on how well this gets done. If it, which we can talk about it, but I'm not sure. I'm just letting the free market kind of go for itself, and obviously you got to promote and market like crazy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm more concerned with like trying to outreach and grow my audience with issue 2 as much as I can. Yeah, that's what I'm at right now is seeing where that goes, and depending on how much it makes, the faster we can get into issue 3, which I'm excited for. Issue 3 is where you finally meet the full title team of Phenomenova. You see more action in issue 3, but issue 2, it's done and it's good. I'm very happy with it. I'm always just looking to the next thing. And my goal is to hopefully keep the momentum going as much as I can. I'd love to. I don't know if anyone has a contact. I could probably see if I can get in contact with Hypnotic.
I do. I got contacts. Yeah.
All right, I'll try and
I
get
mean,
on
honestly,
Hypnotic.
probably just reach out to him, and I'm sure he'll.
Yeah. Sure. All right, I'll reach out to Hypnotic then.
He's pretty responsive. He's a good dude. Shout out to Hypnotic, by the way.
All right. Cool.
Chloe says, "You mean I'll get Phenomenova too soon? Impossible. I mean,
yeah.
I think he said February, right? You get it?
No, February. You'll get it in March, hopefully. I put April as the date to be safer. Ideally, I'd love to get it in March, but you never know. Life gets crazy. So my hope is to, because I'm really just marketing it. It was the end of the year. I would consider launching in December. People are like, December is not a great month, so I pushed it back. And I was also just like focusing on my website, having just launched that, which you can also get issue 1 if you want it right away. You can get it on my website. But yeah, I was looking at it like that way. And I decided, you know what, I got to just get it going, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be marketing for it, whether it's pre-launch or not. Might as well just have it going, and then people can back it, when they're able to. If they can't back it in January, that's fine, because it is the slowest month of the year. Everyone just spent their money. So I'm honestly really happy with how it's doing right now.
That's good. Student OG says Vaughn doesn't think Emma Frost is the hardest X-Men.
I don't. I think she's all right. First of all, all right. So we got to deduct points for her horrible personality. She's an ice queen, but also she's okay. My website is rebeloasisstudios.com. But
it's right there below.
Right there. But also, all right. So Emma Frost, I mean, she's up there for sure. But also, I haven't read much with her as an X-Man. I've read a lot of Claremont stuff where she's a villain. So I'm curious to get to Morrison stuff and see how she could possibly be redeemed, because she's a pretty horrible person, and everything I've read of Claremont's, like, John's Longbox said it well. She was like the Ghislaine Maxwell of Marvel Universe. Like, she's a terrible, terrible person. And maybe not like pedo stuff, but she's a terrible person. But I would say, I don't know. It would depend on who it is. It's not good, Marcus.
He just laughs. Yeah, Vaughn keeps rejecting my writer-drawn cover idea.
Yeah, I do, because I'm not cheapening my brand. All right, this is, I could consider doing a sketch cover, and then if someone wants to come by a convention and pay me to draw, I mean, I guess it would be a waste of a perfectly good cover, to be honest with you.
Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says renowned Castlevania knowledge versus Vaughn's Sonic knowledge. Who wins? Of course, I'm going to be biased and say myself, because the only thing is
you might. Yeah,
Castlevania has been around longer than Sonic.
Yeah,
I think the Genesis came out after the Nintendo. So
Chloe knows more about Sonic than I do, so I'll say that. Yeah, I mean, he might. Yeah, he might have that. I know more about. Even though I've been doing Sonic a lot lately, I'd say, like, it's weird. I don't want to say X-Men is my main, because I would say specifically like 80s Claremont X-Men, but like I kind of my knowledge takes a steep nosedive after a certain point.
Right. So remember, guys, we have to wait 4 years for quality.
Not here.
And again, Vaughn's website is rebeloasisstudios.com. I can actually pull it up if you need me to.
Yeah, sure. If you want to, you can sign up for the mailing list there too. That way you can get notified.
So there you go. So you can actually, here it is down here. subscribe to the Rebel Oasis newsletter. So you get basically updates much quicker than you ever would through like Indiegogo or Kickstarter. Everything you need to know is through the Rebel Oasis newsletter. I'm actually signed up for it. Is how I know kind of the information, all the information about it. So this is actually the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's the most universal, right? Because everyone needs an email.
Right.
So that's why I really emphasize the mailing list. Also, I remember when I was first getting into indie comics, I was watching a video Brian Polito did. And he was saying that the mailing list to him was the most important thing. And so I really took that to heart. You can also, if you go to digital comics, you can actually read the first, you can link off to globalcomics.com, which that you could read the first 10 pages of Phenomenova issue 1 for free. And then if you want, you could buy the PDF of issue 1 there. Yeah. You click digital comics. You go right there. Yeah, that's Hotline. But if you go click here for digital store, that'll link to another tab, Global Comics. So there you go. That will take you. You could read the first 10 pages on there for free. And then if you want to, you could get the physical, of course, or you could get the digital PDF.
And the digital is what, $5?
Digital is $5, yeah.
There you go. So we want a cheaper alternative option over having a physical book and shipping it. You can always get the digital copy for $5. There you go. Emma Frost would step on your nuts.
She would, and I don't think I like that. But she is hot. I'm not denying that. John Byrne.
MSK says women will always have bad personalities.
That Kitty Pryde, she's got the best one.
There you go. Yep, you already covered that. What's up, Bad Sauce? How's it going, friend?
What's up, Bad Sauce? How you doing, man? How's the car? You good? Better?
How's the car?
Yeah.
Hail to you, Emily Kruger. Welcome to the stream.
You know, even
Chloe saved Vaughn in gaming streams recently. Oh, did she now?
Yeah, I'll give her some credit where it's due. Yeah, she did.
She saved you in some Sonic streams.
Yeah, she did. She also, next time I'm gonna buy games, I'm gonna run them by her, because apparently the Switch version of the Sonic X Shadow Generations is the worst version, but I already spent money on it, so.
You have a PC, just get it there.
Well, I know. I was being an idiot. Because I like owning physical games.
Yeah, I get you.
Because I don't know. I like
I've got Sonic and Shadow Generations in the shelf behind me too. So
what'd you buy it on?
I got it on Xbox.
Yeah, see, like you bought it on a smarter console than I did.
Did you? Does yours have the reversible cover art?
It does, which I love.
Yeah.
Actually, the reverse. I should probably do the reverse. The reverse is honestly nicer. I should probably switch it.
I do like it better.
Yeah, honestly. Normally, I stick with the normie one.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, I might have to switch this, or I'll switch it later.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is true. So yeah, let's get down to business here. Let's pull up this game.
All right, let's do it.
Judging by Vaughn's Marvel Rivals frame rate, I suspect Switch is stronger than his PC.
Shut the fuck up, Chloe. All right. You know what? No, it's true, though. I actually had to end the stream. Because my Marvel Rivals frame rate was so bad. I literally couldn't play the game. It was terrible. And I was going to have a friend come over and sort it out.
Oh, okay.
It was like I would load into the match like a minute after everyone else. And the team was really suffering without me, of course. But then I came in. Of course.
I actually just downloaded Marvel Rivals. I haven't played it yet.
Oh, yeah? It's fun. It's really fun, actually. I used to play Overwatch, and I'm
not a big hero shooter guy, so I get that.
It was fun, but also extremely aggravating, Overwatch.
FYI, Renan, I didn't see a notification for the stream. That's because I put out 3 videos today, and as I told Vaughn earlier, YouTube only allows 3 notifications per day. So that's one of my big issues. I wish YouTube would have separate notifications for videos and live streams. That would be awesome because that would really help a lot of people if they would have separate live stream notifications for videos and live streams. Vaughn's rival gameplay is fucked due to technical issues.
Yes.
Says Garfield Bizarre Adventure.
Actually,
but yeah,
like it is.
But yeah, Sonic Gen's Seaside Hill.
Yeah, there were like literally platforms that just didn't show up. And I'm like, it affected my performance. That I will blame on the platforms. The rest I will blame on my incompetence, but that I will actually. Holy shit, this looks so much better. Reversed.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
It does. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Well, yeah,
sticking
so
with that.
this is something that I actually said towards the beginning. I was like, guys, share the stream out because we're not. There's no notifications going to be going out because I put out 3 videos today. So I really do appreciate it if you guys share it anywhere you can and get more people in the stream because of that specifically. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull up Phenomenova issue number 2, sitting currently at 129 backers with $3,774. 47 days to go, guys. By the way, this is a smaller comic. The first issue of Phenomenova was 68 pages,
Yeah,
which, as you've stated before, is kind of the thing where you're putting basically 2 issues into one, right?
it was 3. But then
3.
yeah, 3. Yeah.
Okay. So this one is only $10. It is a 24-page issue, but you will actually get it, and it will actually be good.
Yeah.
So back it if you haven't already. So can you give us a deeper dive into what we can expect from Phenomenova issue number 2 that we?
Yeah. So issue number 2 picks up right when the first one leaves off, but Miles is now. I would describe it as his in issue 1. We saw him really get his powers and his ideals and stuff are in the right place, but he's kind of his head's not quite on right. He's rushing into action without thinking. He's making mistakes, and now he's being reprimanded by not just the Phoenix Senshi, but you'll see, some of the detectives who were in issue 1. They make a reappearance, and he's basically almost relearning how to be a hero. He's kind of stepping back, deconstructing, putting himself back together in a sense. We're going to dive a bit further into his past while also having some physical training, but it's ultimately about him kind of learning, getting to the core of who he is, and through the process, getting to the core of his powers. It's kind of like mixing those two together, kind of like how in Spider-Man 2, his powers start to act up when he starts having a crisis of conscience. It's kind of the same thing here. Miles is starting to have difficulties with his powers as he's learning about things that went wrong in the reactor that could have very well been his fault. And his failure is really getting to him, and the way he's being dragged on the news. And now he has to slow down so he can speed up again, is basically his thing. He's got to really hunker down and reach down to the core, as the issue title suggests, of who he is and what makes him want to be a hero. And from there, he can kind of strike back out again. We also get our first glimpse at 2 new characters, Hotline, who is the tech support for Phenomenova, and also Estrella, who is the first member of Phenomenova that we're going to see. And Estrella is also a detective. So she is deaf and blind, but she could sense the world through psychometry, through feeling and sensing the world around her and absorbing information from it. So she has like this extra sense and can see the world in a plane that others can't. You also see Miles has his Phenomenova training uniform in this issue, which is
so that would be this one here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have Hotline here, and what's this?
So that's Estrella.
Estrella. Okay, so Estrella and Hotline right there, and Senshi over here on this cover.
Yeah.
And remember, guys, this cover is a campaign exclusive compared to this one.
Yeah, so what I did differently this time is last time I had that the variant covers are $5 more. This I've changed that. They're all the same price, but it's just know that after the campaign, others will be marked up in price at cons. And they'll be limited, but whatever's left over from the printer will be sold at like double price at cons. So
I think very limited. Knows that Vaughn makes comics, so they sabotage his Marvel Rivals stream. Possibility. So,
they don't want me promoting their product, I guess.
So personally, I went with the Mariano Chapo cover. I thought this was indeed my favorite. And one of the little details that people might have missed is the fact that the lettering up here, the little outline here, is actually gold.
Oh yeah, I love that
compared to the other colors here.
Yeah, my letter, he came up with that, and I loved it. I was like, that's awesome.
It's interesting because the Sakisha Ray variant, I just looked at it again earlier today, and I was like, this actually has the same thing. It has that change of outline compared to the other covers out there as well.
I forget if Sakisha did that herself or because I know her logo, if you look, is different color, slightly different color. She did something with her logo Sukeisha.
I'll have to look at it again because I love finding those little details.
Mm-hmm.
Attention to detail with stuff like that is pretty freaking awesome. So if you guys didn't see that, again, this has a gold outlining here, and the rest are like white, which I really like that. I like that little attention to change in detail with this. And I actually like this. This looks really nice.
Yeah.
Hotline is a big Drake fan, apparently.
I don't know what that means, but
okay. Can't wait to see how tough the training is going to be for Galvin Knight.
Oh yeah, it'll be he's got a long road ahead of him. If he wants to become a superhero, he started off too early, and now he's got to get smacked around a bit and humbled.
You love the Scales of Justice cover? Yeah, that's the one I went with.
Yeah, so that was I had actually they just did a Vampirella holiday special. It's called the Holiday Special, and Mariano did that. He was the interior artist on that book. And I remember he had done some Dynamite stuff with Vampirella before. And I was like, I asked Mariano, I was actually initially going to hire him because I was like, we have these like hot chick characters. Why don't I have a cover with them? And so initially I had hired him with that. I had given him a different thumbnail idea. And he did it. He gave me a thumbnail, but he goes, oh, I also just did one with the Scale of Justice. And he shows me that. And I'm like, screw it. No, let's do that. And initially I'd had him, Hotline was going to be on the cover. It was big. That was the whole reason I hired him. But then this cover, he did the thumbnail. I was like, no, it makes more sense to have Miles and Senshi there. And basically, the whole reason I hire him ended up not even being on the cover. He ended up not even drawing Hotline, which was fine because what he came up with was so much cooler, which is a good thing. If sometimes you got to just let the artist do their thing. And everyone wants his cover because of it. But to make up for it, I was like, I got to do something with Hotline. So there is a trading card. If this funds, everyone gets the Hotline trading card.
Yep. Remember what he said. Hotline is supposed to be Sukeisha, right?
Yeah.
Remember he said that because I'm gonna if I meet her again, I'm gonna let her know.
Yeah. She knows. I asked her permission first. I know. I didn't just do it I wouldn't do that without her if she's my friend. I was like. She was like, oh, I love that. Oh my God, that's awesome. So I did.
So for the people who backed it on day one, you were able to get the Golden Gallant trading card. And unfortunately, they're no longer available. I'm sorry to everyone who didn't get this, but this is cool.
Well, next time you can do it. Yeah, that was the stretch goal trading card for issue 1. And yeah.
So are we gonna actually see the Golden Gallant in this issue at all, or any further issues going forward?
I mean, you've read issue 1, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
What I mean is, like, are we going to get like a prequel kind of?
Well, that's the Crusader Corps. I would love
right.
to have more of him in the Crusader Corps.
Right. So you're thinking you're going to do a prequel book with the Crusader Corps?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Because that's what I'm.
Yeah. There will be.
For that. Yeah.
Yeah. People want Crusader Corps. They're going to get it. It's going to look a little different, I will say, to start with in Crusader Corps. You're going to see some of these characters. At least my current plan is some of these characters will be in issue 1 of Crusader Corps, and some won't be. These are just 6 characters of Crusader Corps, but there was more than that. Given that it was a world war, there was actually more. Than just the 6 characters. Right, and they weren't all founding members of that team. You're going to find out who was a founding member, who wasn't, who came on first, who came on later. And that's all I'll say for now. But
okay.
So far we know the status. What I like about it is like issue 1 confirms the status of 2 characters. And I will say with my trading cards, I like giving a little extra lore of stuff that isn't in the book itself that I have about the characters. And if I don't have something, I reveal some. I try and do extra writing on the trading cards, like because I like writing, and also it gives me an extra opportunity, an extra incentive. It's not just pretty art, I like to put something extra. And I'll say you'll get a little more Crusader Corps Senshi knowledge if we hit the 10K trading card with Senshi. You get some extra, which there's the art. If you can't see the Senshi card yet,
okay. But yeah, this is
I'll post about it.
This is the hotline card that he is referring to. That everyone will receive one of these when the campaign is fully funded. Now, do you have one to show just yet, or no?
A trading card?
Yeah, like the hotline one.
Well, that's it. That's the art.
I thought you had the physical card.
Well, no, you have to print it first. I'm raising money for printing and stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. And Chloe says, gotta give Miles a harsher beating than Daniel in Karate Kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's important.
Phoenix Senshi, there's no mercy in this dojo.
Yeah.
Master Obo also says, what? No Vaughn Coleman card? I've been ripped off.
Yeah, you're not getting that. Phoenix Senshi will get, I will say Miles he'll get a bit of a beating. He'll get smacked around quite a bit in this issue. Yeah, Phoenix Senshi will definitely not take it super easy on him.
The Battle of Golden Heroes, Golden Gallant versus the Golden Patriot. That'll be a tough one. I mean, the Golden Gallant is the most powerful hero in
oh yeah, he's gonna smoke Golden Patriot unless there's something in the book that changes it. You know, and that's no shade.
I know
I've designed the character. You know, but if I were to guess, Golden Patriot could probably beat Galvanite because Galvanite's a dumb child.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's for people that are new here and have never seen the inspiration and the dedication of this book to your late father.
Yeah,
want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, the first book was dedicated to my dad who died in 9/11 because it was kind of like a big. I realized as I was diving into superheroes, it was kind of like a big thing with like why I love superheroes so much. They were like, show you could overcome tragedy. And it was also an escape for a kid who really needed it, right? So it was kind of my homage, like showing why superheroes are so special to me. But also it made the story better, to be honest. And issue 2, I felt bad because it was my dad and my uncle passed. And I tried to have some of the uncle in issue 1. I had considered going back and adding a line. And I was like, it just didn't fit. And I was like, well, hopefully maybe I could find a way in issue 2 or a later issue. And I kind of put that aside. And I was like, well, it would be nice if I dedicated issue 2 to him, but it had to make sense. The story comes first.
Absolutely.
And I did come up with something. And there is a character based on my uncle, and it actually fit right in with the themes of the book. And so there is a character based off of my Uncle Scott who will be in the book. So, yeah. So the book is dedicated to him.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. So who would you say are your inspirations for your writing style? Like, who would you
Chris
say?
Claremont is my biggest. Frank Miller, I love him, but Chris Claremont, my number one. I would say Marv Wolfman, Greg Wiseman, Jeff Johns, Chuck Dixon, Jeff Loeb.
Some heavy hitters.
Yeah. Those are some of my favorites. I would say. And issue 2 is really like reaffirming the values of the series and what the series is all thematically about. I still have to read some Millar stuff. I got to confess, I haven't.
No, it's interesting you say that because Garfield's was our.
Yeah, I know. That's why. I was
okay.
wanted to. Yeah. I know. I've been reprimanded, and I know I need to amend that.
Garfield also says Miles versus the Patriarch on John's long box win.
I don't think Miles is ready for that. He's got to go through his training first. I
think Patriarch will wipe the floor with him in 2 seconds.
Well, I'm supposed to talk up my main character, but like, I'm literally having him get the crap beaten out of him. One day he'll kick Patriarch's ass. I'll say that, but not right now. He's working up to that point. That's the nature of the story. I'm not writing the kind of character right now that's gonna beat everyone else's character.
The Patriarch is a more well-established character. He's already familiar with his powers. He's an older gentleman, and Miles is just starting out.
Yeah, he just got his powers like a couple days ago. He's gonna have some difficulties.
MSK says, I prefer creators who smoke crack and lick urinals.
Teach their own.
He knows just the guy. Okay, good. Claremont wrote the definitive X-Men, while Marv Wolfman wrote the definitive Teen Titans.
Oh, yeah. I have to finish Wolfman's Teen Titans and Claremont's X-Men. I'm so close to being done with Claremont's X-Men. Like right at the end.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I already know Garfield. We actually had a huge debate about it in the Mugen Lord stream, actually. It's funny enough.
Did you?
There were 2 people in the chat. I let them do it. It's fun. It's always fun to go back and forth between power levels of different characters, but they were going back and forth about Goku versus Saitama, and I specifically said Well, I actually said Goku because Saitama actually would have to land a hit on Goku because of how fast he is. But yeah, Saitama is purposely meant to be the One Punch Man. So actually, Dunce Whisperer beats all. I still have to read it. I have it digitally.
Yeah, I have that book. I got it for Christmas. So I do have to read that one.
MSK prefers creators that are white.
Thank you, MSK.
Well, I mean, Goku wins all day. Saitama wouldn't stand a chance against your Dunce Whisperer. Maybe. See, look at that. There's already a conversation going on between.
Yeah, I mean,
yet another stream.
The biggest, yeah, that one I would say it is tough. I would love to, show more of, because I guess you don't really see the action from the more competent heroes, do you? In Phenomenova issue 1. Dude, issue 3 is going to be so exciting to get to, but you see some competent fighting in issue 2.
I was actually going to ask about issue 3.
No, go ahead and ask.
So first, we'll talk about this awesome grayscale that's supposed to be your back cover. Is that correct?
Yeah, Bobby did the grayscale for the issue 1 back cover, and then the issue, issue 2 back cover. We liked it so much that we decided to stick with it. So it was grayscale because it was an homage to Bloodstrike. Initially, I was like, actually, I want it colored. And then I saw it in black and white, and I was like, that's cool. And I was like, actually, can we get it grayscaled? And we did grayscale. And it was great. And we decided to run with it again. We said, let's do a grayscale back cover. I said, Bobby, what do you picture? Because he just came up with that for the back cover. And I was like, Bobby, what do you picture for this back cover? And he gave me this idea of him looking over the dad's grave. Something that wouldn't work as a front cover, but could work as a back cover. And then the grayscale just felt like a natural fit. So who knows? We might continue to do grayscale back covers for every issue with Bobby. So far, we're 2 for 2, and no complaints yet, but we'll see.
That's good. It's very good. Now, would you ever consider making the back covers into a front cover? If people requested it, maybe as like a limited print run.
Right now, I don't see a reason to be honest.
Okay.
I just don't see a reason to.
Fair enough.
I like kind of have these designed in mind where they just wouldn't work to me as a front cover. Like to me, this, like for example, this one doesn't work because it's about the Crusader Corps. Yeah, it says Phenomenova, but it's like it's not about the Crusader Corps. It feels like misleading. This one, I guess technically, but even then, it's kind of misleading for what the nature of the story within is.
Makes sense. MSK says, what does Fawn think of modern women? He thinks they're trash. Master Hobo says, I just want to see Galvanize Zappy Zap Zap the Patriarch.
Well, like listen, man, I'm focused on my own universe right now. If we get to that, we get to that. But
it would be interesting to talk about though in one of those like
dude win the fight. Yeah, well, that's why I want to get more issues out so I could have more feats to pull from. Because right now it's kind of like in my head. I have ideas planned out forever, but it's like money and time, right? Like if I could get them out faster, that'd be great. Because I want to keep the momentum going. And to be honest, I have these stories in me that are just trying to get out.
Nice, hell yeah. So, because it's apparently Vaughn the same age. Okay.
25. Good. It's a good age, right, Clay?
Now we can go ahead and check out the interior pages. Now, the interior pages are, of course, by Philip Cruz. That's correct.
Yeah, I debated how many pages I wanted to show because I wanted to show. Actually, in an earlier version, I did have one of my favorite page on the campaign. And I'm like, I'd rather save it. Like my favorite page, probably Senshi's backstory. You'll see it. You'll know it when you get to it. Let's put it this way: if you like the double page spread with the dragon,
that double page spread was fantastic.
I remember,
the coloring of that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Now I hate to say it, but it's a different colorist this time. But I think he did a good job of following the style. The issue 2, we had to make I wanted to make a deadline, and so that meant I had to. He couldn't make it. Oh yeah, that double page spread. So that, no pun intended, set the internet on fire when I dropped that.
Yeah, so you guys know this was actually a card or print that you got with
the mini
book.
print.
You actually got it
Everyone
as a
wanted
mini
it.
print. Now, would you do the same thing for this one? Would you actually do the double spread for a card as
No,
well?
because there are no arts. This is a spoiler list. There's no double page spreads in this book. There's one splash page.
Okay.
There'll be more in issue 2, but this one, we were kind of had a lot of beats we had to hit in this book, and so I think these 24 pages read pretty fast.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Creative clash: Vaughn GTA Cloudman versus John Kurtango Butte. Yeah, I don't think that would work. I don't think a
But
boxing match.
me and him fighting. No,
I don't think a boxing match would.
I think it would work in my favor.
I don't think a boxing match would solve the problem.
There's a problem.
No, I mean because you can't do Miles versus the Patriarch just yet. So gotta use the
No,
real
you.
life
Oh
game
yeah,
now.
well that's true. Yeah, I guess that could. Yeah, to compensate. So John's character could beat my character, but I could beat John. Let's go with that.
There you go. So, what would you say is the inspiration for the training suit that Miles has in this?
All right, so that would be actually New Mutants and the X-Men. So if you look at the original X-Men, their costumes are all generic, interchangeable costumes. Basically, they had the yellow, and black. And then New Mutants, if you read for the first 50 plus issues of the book, through all of Claremont's run, they have the generic New Mutants training uniforms because they haven't earned their individual costumes yet. And I like that idea of people training to get their own costumes like they hadn't earned it. Like Kitty Pryde, who keep making her own makeshift costumes, but because she hated being stuck in the generic X-Men training uniform. I also think the artists couldn't decide on a costume for a while. But she, like one of the things that we latch on to Kitty Pryde is she's stuck in the generic uniform for a while the X-Men are getting these new costumes and their own thing. And I liked that. And so I decided to pull from that for Phenomenova. I'm like, well, what if there's a generic training uniform he has to put on that he has because he hasn't earned his own individual costume yet? And that was what we came up with, which meant we needed to come with Phenomenova symbol, which Philip did. And then Mel actually was the first one to color it. So, and God bless Mel. He kept having to do color revisions on his cover. But Mel Ruby was great. That Mel Ruby cover, that second cover is special to me because the first comic I ever worked on, I edited Hunter Ninja Bear by Chuck Dixon. And Mel Ruby, of course, drew the ninja in that book. And I was like, I got to get him to draw this. And Mel penciled, inked, and colored that, whereas he just penciled this. And killed it. So Mel, it was great coming full circle to get to work with Mel in that capacity. And I'd love to work with him again. Not only is he a great artist, he's a great guy. And I love his work.
Hey, you can get the Mel Ruby cover right there on this campaign. So Chloe says, one of the things that I liked about the IDW Ninja Turtles run is that it began with all the turtles having red bandanas instead of their normal colors.
Yeah. Did it? I've been meaning to read that run. I hear that run is really good.
I think they just did a big collection of that recently, volume 1, I think. So yeah, I think you can actually get that.
Nice.
The training uniform is still pretty cool looking, to be honest. Says Master.
Yeah, it is really cool looking. And the funny thing is, it's not like the X-Men where like there was precedent. The thing about it is the first time we're seeing it is his costume. So a lot of people might just think it's his. And I guess for now it is just his costume, but it is the Phenomenova uniform.
Yeah. I mean, we did get a preview of his actual costume with this cover, right?
Well, no, but Don, that's the training uniform, but Don drew the lightning bolt. And I actually asked him, he was like, yeah, I was just feeling it and I drew it. I could erase it. And I'm like, you know what? It is off model, but keep it. I like it. So that's only to that cover. But then Bobby liked that and he just assumed that was the thing. So he drew it on the back cover. And maybe I was too lenient. Like maybe it should have been more consistent, but I was like, I like that too. So that is on the back cover, that extra expanded lightning bolt with the P. And it's on that one too. But that is not his costume is that, but minus that lightning bolt. And that is also Fun My Comic exclusive. You won't be able to find that when I go on Kickstarter and Indiegogo.
Okay, awesome. And your backer rewards spread across all the platforms you put this on?
Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah. So basically they'll all combine to get that. Now obviously I prefer like Fund My Comic takes the smallest percentage, which is nice. And I'm not launching on any other platform until it's funded on this one. Which we just got a new backer come in, but we are 95% funded. So we're like $200 away. And again, you can also get digital and physical. That's another thing. You can add the digital tier because it's not like it's shipping costs. So it's an easy one to add. So there we go. We're at 130 backers. So we are 5% away from getting funded. Out of the platforms you've used, which is the most creator friendly? I haven't had issues with any of them, thankfully. I would say it depends. The thing is, it's easiest to say Fund My Comic because A, I could talk to Luke Stone. B, it was the first one I launched on, so everything else felt alien. So it's not fair to say that because I haven't had any be unfriendly to me. So like by default, I want to say Fund My Comic because it's what I know best. But Kickstarter is great in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think Kickstarter is great in a lot of ways, but it's the most foot traffic, which I like, but that's the nature of it being a bigger platform. I think it does the best job of promoting you on the page itself, even if I didn't get a ton. Indiegogo, I don't know. Like I'm still so green that I can't. There are better people to ask than me. I launched Indiegogo and Kickstarter at the same time and just kind of let people flock to them. So to be fair, it's not like I use them as extensively as I use Fund My Comic. So I'm biased to Fund My Comic. But that's because it's the one I use most extensively. I still feel like I haven't fully learned the Kickstarter platform. Indiegogo, I will say Kickstarter, very strict about like until you fulfilled, they won't let you launch, which is they really are on your case with that, which to me was fine because I had done that anyway. But like, I guess I hadn't marked it as fulfilled. I thought I had, but I hadn't. So they're like, we're not letting you launch even the sign up for issue 2 until, you're fulfilled. I was like, no, I did fulfill. And they're like, well, make sure you message everyone. I'm like, all right, I messaged everyone. They're like, all right, fine. You can. So they're very on your case, which is good, Which is
probably why certain creators aren't on there. Shout out to you guys from Pre-Mero for $4.99. I've also believed the X-Men costumes should be given on graduation.
Yeah, I mean that's good thinking. Is that when they were given out? When were they? Because I know they recount when they were given out in one issue. Hold on. There's an issue where they recapped because I didn't read the earlier pre-Claremont stuff, but there's a Claremont issue where he recaps everything, including when they got their first costumes, their first individual costumes. And kidnapped, blah, blah. X-Men are scarcely children. So the X-Men eventually were like upgraded to get their own costume when they proved they weren't kids anymore, is basically what happened in the comics.
Thank you again, Pre, for the $4.99. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, your support. Master Hobo says, can you make my order have a drunk Vaughn as a back cover Vaughn?
No. No.
He says no. What's up, Blue Shell? Says, popping by to say hi since I can't stay, but I really do love these types of streams. I'm looking forward to seeing if I can do these more often. I just need to, spread out and see who I can actually, grab for these types of streams. I actually am hoping I can talk to Tyler Carpenter and see if we can do a stream with him when he launches Super Plumber Sisters 4. Because I really like that series, and it's a mini series, and there's only one book left. So I'm hoping maybe I could reach out to him and we can do one of the streams like this. But thank you for the comment. I appreciate you for stopping by, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. The Fantastic Four didn't get their costumes until a few issues later.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew they didn't have it on the cover, but I didn't know they didn't have it in the book. Yeah, that's one of those runs I know I have to read too. Is the original Kirby run.
And Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, My Hero Academia has the standard school superhero uniforms and their own unique ones. So yeah, seems like you got multiple comics, including manga, that do the exact same thing you're doing with this.
Yeah.
So it'd be very familiar to people.
Yeah, which is good. It's exactly. My Hero had it. There's the generic uniforms, and then he's building into it. The rest of the team, like Estrella, has her own costume, and then you'll see the rest of the team, they have their own costumes. But yeah.
So are we going to see further training into issue 3? Is issue 3 going to be a bigger book than 2?
Issue 3 is going to be a bigger book than 2. Issue 3 is going to be, the current script I have is 41 pages. So issue 3 is like, all right. So I can basically tell you. So at the end of issue 1, right, there's a period of time. So Miles is frozen and he wakes up and he's ready to begin training. Well, issue 2, you kind of see Estrella is investigating back at the reactor, what happened, and absorbing the memories of what happened. And so it fills in that gap of the rescue mission where Miles was extracted, as well as what Dark Cloud was doing at the reactor, who else was involved with the heist, the villains that were involved, what they were up to, and a fight. The heroes are arriving, the villains are heading out and doing their heist. There's a conflict that you see in the issue. So a lot of stuff is going to be revealed and some action as well. So that's really that one is I'm very excited for.
So that's coming in issue 3.
That is in issue 3. Yeah, I decided issue 3 to bump up to like 40-something pages to give my artist extra room to draw all of those characters and all that action with so many characters appearing and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Would you ever do a stretch goal for issue 3 where they can extend the pages, like add more pages, make the story longer?
I could. I kind of just basically, right now, I kind of have it as it is what it is. Like, okay. I consider it, but I don't know that it's necessary. I could be good though.
And how far along do you think you have into the future?
In terms of like how many issues I want to do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I could write into the hundreds and then on. I have so many ideas. But again, that just is a matter of resources and time. Like I would love to keep going, put them out faster.
I would love that too. I know I would.
Yeah. So my hope is to keep expanding my base, which means keep improving, keep reaching new people, which is part of why I market as hard as I do, is because I do really believe in this project, but I'm budgeting. So I'm looking at the bottom line and going, okay, we need to keep growing my audience in addition to growing the story.
Perfect. Sounds good. So the Dark Cloud suspense is killing him.
Killing a lot of people.
Yeah, it's killing me too. I love the introduction of that character, and I think it's going to be a really fearsome character going on.
I will tell you this: my favorite issue that I've written is one where Dark Cloud's backstory is revealed and his identity. Yeah, so that I would say is really exciting. It's really exciting because that is my favorite issue where they reveal his identity and all of that I've written. I've written the first 8 issues, and when that happens, yeah, that's my favorite.
I was actually going to ask you about that too. Were you going to do like an origin story to Dark Cloud in a separate series, or as part of? No,
it's going to be in Phenomenova. I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll expand on another series if people really want it. But for now, you get what you're getting is this. For now, like everything that's essential, you're getting in Phenomenova. Everything that's essential to Phenomenova, you're getting in Phenomenova. But I would love to do like a Dark Cloud story if people really want it. But for now,
I'm sure there are people that want it.
Yeah, Dark Cloud in 2 pages is like everyone's favorite character, which is great. And you will see more. You won't see him in 2, but you'll see more of him in 3. And so make sure you get 2. And the faster you'll meet some new characters that you'll want more of. And my whole thing is I'm going to keep introducing new characters, and you'll be like, well, I want this one. Well, I want this one. And which is kind of what the X-Men comics would do. They'd loop around to characters, but you'd always be invested about what was going on. They'd be like, I want this again. Or in the older comics, I'd read the Stan Lee stuff, and they'd be like, because you demanded it, the Vulture is back. Like they'd listen to the fans. And that kind of stuff was really cool.
That's the best thing you can do. It's kind of what they're doing right now with the X-Men, where they have like they have like the Uncanny X-Men, the X-Force, and just regular the other. There's like 3 X-Men books, and then now they're doing like separate books for each character, like Psylocke, Storm, Cable, Wolverine. Is that what you're kind of going with? Which I think that
right now, no. Right now, it's Phenomenova is the main team. I would love to do a Crusader Corps. And then I want to keep Phenomenova. Like, I just want to keep doing more Phenomenova. Like, I have a Western series that's not part of this universe that I'd love to do. I did a 10-page short story of that, which I'll probably drop on Global Comics at some point. But
that's the Land of the Lawless, right?
Land of the Lawless, yeah. Which you can see the cover of it on my website. I'll probably drop the digital at some point. But
right there.
Yeah. But God, I mean, I want to do. I have other ideas for spinoffs for sure, but Phenomenova, I want to just keep doing more issues of Phenomenova rather than keep doing spinoffs. I would do spinoffs, but right now I have like a 20+ issue plan, and then way more than that. But like I have a rougher outline for 20s, So I would love to kind of just keep that going, and then if people want spin-offs of that, of any characters like that, that's fine. But I'm also down with doing like fill-in issues of Phenomenova, like what they had with X-Men, where they'd had Barry Windsor Smith would come in and he'd do a Wolverine standalone where he fights Lady Deathstrike. And then like that's what I'd love to do. Ideally is just to keep it kind of like the Uncanny X-Men, where there is a center series. I do think actually it almost gets too big at a certain point. Like where I'm at, I'm reading just as many spin-offs as other stuff. Like I've been reading like all the Wolverine stuff, and I've come to the conclusion that I didn't have to, but it's fine.
But it's good that the ideas are floating around there, and people actually want to read more about Crusader Corp, and that's actually very good for your universe. That people actually have just met the Crusader Corps, and now they already want that. You might even have the possibility of people wanting a Dark Cloud origin story, and it's really exciting that people want to get more invested in the universe, and they just the characters.
Which is what I want to. The most important thing you have to do is make people care about the characters. That is the most important thing you can do. Make them want to see more. People are like, oh, I wish I saw more of this, but I if they're happy with what they got, but they want more of it, that is the best thing. Like, for example, with Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the fact that I want 4 so badly is the best compliment I could give.
You already came out with 4. Well, the game anyway.
I'm talking about. Sorry, I was talking about the movie.
Oh, okay.
Didn't they like not even finish 4 the game?
They had 2 episodes,
and then they never finished it.
LG says that we'll never talk about, because I know he's in the chat and I know he says that all the time. Chloe says extending page counts is kind of a dangerous stretch goal, because if your selling point is fulfillment speed, the book has to be mostly finished, and it's hard to add pages last second. That it's better for it to be a goal for the next book.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Issue 3 we're gonna handle issue 3 how we handle issue 3. You know what I mean? Like it's also I'm writing it a certain way where it's like it kind of is like pasted a certain way where I'm already giving you guys a higher stretch goal, which means issue 2, 3 will be price range probably I would guess between issues 1 and 2, because that's what it's like page count wise. But yeah, I mean, it's better for extended, but I get what you're saying. I think
it's better to have the goal and then say,
I don't know, like because I could thinking of areas where I could extend theoretically, and I'm like, I theoretically could have it's also if my artist is like, hey, I think this action sequence can be extended, that could be a stretch goal. But that would depend on when I launch the campaign and how far along I am in the campaign and how long people are willing to wait. So those are all factors that I could do. If you guys are willing to wait for the extra pages, but that would be a bridge we'd have to cross when we get to it.
Right. Most people I'm sure will understand if you extend the book, though, that as long as you give updates, they'll be okay. Yeah. But like Chloe said, having a stretch goal for the next book would actually be better, because as she also said, fulfillment speed. That way you're telling people, okay, this book is going to be longer. and it may take a little bit longer to get to you. But you seem to be always on that trajectory of having the book already finished before you launch anyway. So
Yeah.
it's still.
Well, I don't know if that's
kind
going to
of
be the case with 3.
okay.
That's just me being honest. I don't think that's going to be the case with 3, but I do think so. 3 might be a true crowdfund.
Okay.
But if that's the case, you know, I've shown that like because I would rather have it done ahead of time, but I'm just, you know, I'm making sure that I can afford to get it into people's hands. That's the most important thing, is giving them this one. So I might do a true crowdfund of 3. I'm figuring out 3, but again,
you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I've got time, and for now, just know that you are going to get 2 100%.
Just know that yes, Vaughn Coleman does have a 100% fulfillment rate.
Yeah, I mean,
you will
there wasn't a lot of room for error.
You will get a book. You will get a book when you back this campaign. You don't have to wait too long after the campaign ends.
Yes.
And you will receive your product that you paid for. I know, shocking in 2025 when you purchase a product and get it on, you know, within a timely manner.
Yeah.
And actually receive what you paid for.
Well, it's also I feel bad if people are waiting too long. Like even like people in my personal life, like, where's the book? I'm like, I'm working on it, man. I'm trying, you know. And now that I've improved, you know, it could get. So I want to get them going because I want to keep the momentum going. It's, you know, so
right. Well, like I said before, people are more willing to wait as long as you continue to update them rather than
exactly
forever to update them. So people are more forgiving, especially with someone who is not as big of a creator. They're a little more, you know, forgiving since you're a smaller creator and you keep giving updates.
Right.
People
I'm always telling people if it's delayed, if people want to know why things are behind, I'm like, here's where we're at. This is why
because
things didn't take. There was unfortunately an issue here. You know, I haven't been emailing as often, but I got the email done because it was like I wasn't going to keep updating people on issue 2 until before the campaign was launched. This time I kind of handled things differently. But I'm basically like, yeah, I mean, here the book's pretty much done. You'll probably get an email saying it's fully lettered after my editor and I are both happy with it because I'm waiting for his feedback. But book's pretty much done, man, which is very
good. Yeah.
And the trading card, of course, is a physical reward. But if you're preferring digital, so all the exclusives come with the physical version of the book, right? But if you just want a cheaper digital version, you can go ahead and do that. You know, I think go with whatever you want. Again, you can't really get there's not really a digital trading card because it's kind of just like it's meant to be a collectible thing. So you don't get the physical rewards if you back the digital, but you do get it before people on Global Comics will be able to get it and what have you. You'll get it right away. So, and if you want both, you can go ahead and back the digital as well. But that's basically it. There's
$10 for a digital catch-up pack. You get both Phenomenova 1 and 2.
Yeah, 2. 1, I decided to make it $5 digital because it's easier buy-in. And again, there's actually a few small differences in the digital version of Phenomenova issue 1. Nothing dialogue, nothing story. Just basically, you could see, I did a short talking about it. You could see like a couple little heads poking out that had to be cut because of the printing. So that stuff's fun, but it's nothing. It's like little Easter eggs, but it's nothing really like crazy. I don't even know if it's interesting enough to be an Easter egg. It's interesting to me, but
yeah. By the way, I appreciate you, LG, for being here and being a mod and being a channel member. And Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says Eric gave Saoirse her own book after Represine #2, did well, and people wanted some more cane and white interiors. Now, I was going to ask after reading that, if you did come out with a Crusader Corps book, would you have the same artist?
Probably not.
Or would you have a separate artist?
No, I'd probably do a different artist so we can keep doing Phenomenova. I want him to keep doing Phenomenova because, so I'd probably get someone else. That way they could be, you know, that's why I say I'm putting off Crusader Corps. I want Phenomenova to keep going.
I want it to be an established series.
And an ongoing. And I want, once I know that's good enough, then Crusader Corps can be going on here and they can kind of be separate wavelengths. And that's also why, like, I don't want to do that prequel thing where it's like I'm going to withhold like absolutely essential plot information for the present, so you have to buy a prequel book. I don't want to do that, right? Like if I need you to know something that happened to some of the Crusader Corps members or some of the history to understand what's currently going on in Phenomenova, you will know.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stuff you'll find out in Crusader Corps that's really cool that will connect around in really interesting ways.
All right. Awesome. Hell yeah. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure people are going to be loving that whenever that comes out. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, how does Vaughn feel about the current state of superhero films? People are proclaiming the downfall of the superhero genre.
How do I feel about it? Man, I feel like people who say it's the downfall of the superhero genre, I just don't think we're fans of the genre to begin with. I was a fan, before they were, well, I don't want to say before they were superhero movies, because that's objectively false. But like before the MCU, I loved superhero movies, and then I've graduated to comics, and then whatever. Regardless of whether there are movies or not, superhero fans will exist. They existed, before 1978 when the first Superman movie came out. I don't think so. I don't think that it's going to die out. I think maybe in the public consciousness, it might become a bit more hipster. Kind of like how, well, I guess Westerns, some people argue, died out. So if you want to argue that maybe in the general public, superhero stories will kind of shrink down, I could see it. But in terms of like comic book fans and geek culture, it's going to be alive and well. That's my thought process. And Phenomenova is for that, people who have sworn off superheroes entirely. I mean, this is a true blue superhero book, right? Like to its core. That's who it's made for. And also people who maybe don't care about superheroes but end up liking the book, great, good for them. But I think people like good stories, whether they be superhero stories or not. There are people that will say, I hate superhero stories, but that's not really, I feel like most people who say that, they'll always, I don't like insert whatever genre, will always end up finding something they like in it. I'll be like, oh, I'm not a huge fan of rom-coms, but I love Crazy Stupid Love. It's a good movie. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, it's not my genre, but if it's a good enough story, it'll grab people. And I think the problem is they're not telling good enough stories. And I also just don't think normies are geeks like us. I think,
No, they're not.
That was a long-winded response, but yeah.
That's cool. Like, I appreciate you responding to the chat when they ask a question. Now, Master Hobo says you will also get your car vandalized by Vaughn himself if you back his books. Now, what is
false allegations?
What is the meme or the joke behind this?
Okay, so Bad Sauce got his book, and then immediately after he picked up his book, someone rammed his car, I believe. And this is my fault somehow. And so, yeah, basically that's what happened. Then I think it was Professor Savage's dad posted that he had car troubles, like his light turned on right after he got, and it was just two coincidences, and so it became a running bit that I'll destroy people's cars that back.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. Master Obo also says the popularity of My Hero Academia and One Punch Man proves the superhero genre isn't dead. That's very true. My Hero Academia has absolutely taken over that kind of mutant superhero team when X-Men wasn't a thing, and people started hating it, and they started doing some very questionable things in their books. So My Hero Academia basically became the alternative to the X-Men. And
yeah, I mean, exactly. They're filling the void, and that proves that if there's a void left, that proves that there's a demand for it, right? There's no
similar to how games nowadays are making characters. There are games coming out that are making female characters look appealing because of all the games that characters aren't being made appealing, and they're now filling the gap of that. So it's similar to that.
I got to finish. I got to start Stellar Blade, actually. I only played the demo. I've had it sitting on it for almost a year. I got it like launch day, and then I think I even pre-ordered it, and then I never played it, and I should.
I mean, you can always wait for the PC and the PC mods.
Yeah. I have the PS4 version.
There you go.
And then I was trying to play it on stream, and I just couldn't figure it out.
Oh, okay.
I forgot my PS4 setup, and it's a pain in the ass, man.
Like I said, just wait for it to be on PC mods.
But yeah.
It might be a good thing if it shrinks down, says Sam Rogers. The left might leave it alone. And in reference to the superhero genre.
Superheroes?
Yeah. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, I think a lot of normies moved on after Endgame, but a lot of geeks will be around.
Well, a lot of geeks, I think, moved on after Endgame, too, to be honest. I mean, I kind of moved on, but it wasn't really because of we were just done with it. It was just, I think what they're doing is just not as interesting. I really I haven't been that invested, to be honest with you.
I moved on because it just felt like the end, and I didn't really watch a new MCU movie until Spider-Man No Way Home, and that's just because of Tobey Maguire, because he's the
yeah. So, I like Tobey. I like seeing the 3 Spider-Man together, but outside of that, I wasn't that crazy about that movie, to be completely honest with you.
What, No Way Home?
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
I thought it was great.
I don't know. A lot of people thought it was amazing. I thought it was like fine, to be honest. I think it was a bit. I enjoyed it, but I just don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if it's the masterpiece everyone claims it is. And I'm not like being a downer about it. I don't know. I think it's like a lot of nostalgia.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't think it's that. It also, to me, solidified that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is by far the worst one. Like he is. Like his Spider-Man is great. Like, all right, so the Mary Jane shit. I mean, not the Mary Jane shit. The Aunt May shit pissed me off so much. Because I know what they were going for. And it was like the fact that they were going for that shows that they missed the entire point of Uncle Ben's death. Like,
oh yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, I got it's that supposed to happen before he becomes Spider-Man, because that's what makes it like the whole thing is that he fails to save his uncle because of his selfish actions. Right. And then because of that, he has to learn with great power comes great responsibility. In the context of this movie, he's been Spider-Man for this is his 6th movie, and then he learns responsibility because he was trying to do the right thing and someone got hurt. The line didn't work, and the scene didn't work. And how do you go 3 movies? This character has never had Uncle Ben, and then you see there's no grave for him. So was there never an Uncle Ben in this world? It
seems that way, yeah. Like personally, I didn't watch Homecoming or Far From Home because I didn't care for Tom Holland as Spider-Man in general.
I like Tom Holland Far From Home, but I mean, I do think that his character is too different.
I just prefer Tobey's version of Spider-Man, to be honest.
Tobey's is the best, man. I rewatched those movies in theaters. Did you rewatch them in theaters?
No, I rewatched them in 4K at home.
All 3 of them. See, I did, but the movie theater experience was great because it was right before Phenomenova issue 1 launched, and it was the perfect timing. Like, I had just the right amount of delays. Like, Rini needed more time on her cover, and it lined up perfectly because the biggest influence for Phenomenova issue 1 was a Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, and I'm sure you can see that when you go back to the origin, him testing his powers, the training, the makeshift costume, and seeing that in theaters days before I launched was just like amazing because it was like, yes, it made me feel like a kid again. And I kind of felt like I was going full circle because I'm like, yes, now I remember. Not that I forgot, but it's like reminding me why I made what I made and what I was feeling when I was writing it and creating it. And it just made me, I don't know, it was great. And then Spider-Man 3 movie theater experience was so good. It was so good. My friends and I are losing our shit. Like when he starts dancing, oh my God, like the whole theater was cracking up. Spider-Man 3 is such a mixed bag because when it's really good and serious, it's great. But then it gets so goofy and it'll flip on a dime. Like there's that one, the perfect way to exemplify this is in Spider-Man 3, there's that ridiculous dancing scene in the club, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Then he hits MJ and it's like suddenly the whole theater goes quiet. And it's like, it suddenly becomes so serious. And I will say the tonal shift is great. And the way that scene is handled. But I'm like, that's kind of the movie in a nutshell. It's like it gets so goofy and then it's like so serious, and it's just like on a dime, it flips on you. But I don't know. I mean, I love Spider-Man 3, but it is a mess, man. It is a mess.
Sure.
But that was the nostalgia I have. Like, that was unforgettable seeing that in theaters.
That's very true, yeah. And honestly, the first two movies still hold up even 4K.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Vaughn Coleman is also a shipper of Cloud and Tifa.
Yeah, man.
And he also wrecked Chloe's car.
That is Chloe. What do you? This is the first this has come up. This is bullshit. Now she's just trying to be. She's trying to be cool. She's trying to
fit in.
Throw me under the bus to fit in with the cool kids who got their cars allegedly wrecked by me. That's what this is, Chloe. I see.
Straw Hat guys, it sounds like the neighbors can't drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, I mean, geeks will be around to support the superhero genre. I think the MCU itself is damaged.
Oh, it's damaged.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. All the nonsense they're pushing in these movies and putting all the race swaps and unlikable characters they push into the forefront, like Captain Marvel. It's definitely more on the fan service side, and that's a reference to No Way Home. Welcome in, Cook. Couldn't agree with Vaughn more on Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. They just don't get I just don't think the new movies get the character. I think they get aspects of the character, but I don't think they get I think Tom Holland, when I say he's the worst, I'm not saying performance-wise. I just don't like the way I don't like him and his supporting cast and how they're written. They just don't feel like the same characters. And people are like, well, you just want to see the same thing over and over again? It worked for hundreds of issues, yes.
Yeah.
Barely scratch the surface. You just don't have to keep telling the same issues over and over again. There's tons of different villains you haven't done yet. There's tons of different stories with those same villains. Like, the idea that we have to reinvent the characters every 3 movies is so dumb to me, because it's like we barely scratched the surface of what we can do with Spider-Man. We haven't even gotten out of even all the 60s villains yet.
That's kind of how people feel like Batman as well, when they keep telling you his origin story over and over again when they introduce a new Batman as well. And that's what people kind of liked about the Robert Pattinson version, where they didn't have to explain the origin story again. They kind of put him in that year 1 or year 2 into Batman's life. So that was kind of what they did with that as well. So Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, I enjoyed No Way Home, but it was definitely fan service heavy. Same with Deadpool 3. Though not a movie, I feel like Marvel Rivals shows there will always be a place for superheroes and Marvel in particular.
Yeah. Now, if I could get my computer to actually run the goddamn game, that would be fun. It ran for 8 hours, just ran poorly for 8 hours. But I did that was such a fun stream. And I'm going to do a whole video explaining who Magic is. I might even get on recording it. We'll get on recording it soon, but yeah, that'll be fun.
People tend to call Tom Holland Iron Boy because he depends on Iron Man a lot. Yes, he does.
Yeah, Iron Boy Jr.
And then pretty much into 3 until a certain point. I'm not a fan of Holland Spider-Man movies. MCU Spider-Man feels like white Miles Morales more than Peter Parker. Okay. All right, that's an interesting point. Tobey's Spider-Man went to masterpieces. Spider-Man 3 has grown on me because of the memes. That's pretty much how most people's experiences are like. So,
yeah.
At least I think so. We got the Bully Maguire meme from Spider-Man 3.
Dude, Bully Maguire is so good.
You're going to cry? Right?
It's so good. It's so good, dude.
Bully Maguire is my hero, says Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Bully Maguire is still better than Tom Holland, says Straw Hat Guy.
Dude, Bully Maguire is the GOAT, man.
What's up, Primetime Bolton says Phenomenova looks great. You can get Phenomenova issue 1 and 2 with this campaign if you want to get that catch-up pack. It's well worth your money and time. Vaughn Coleman's computer betrayed him, says Garfield's Bizarre Adventure.
Kind of. Yeah, you know what? I'll say that. Yeah, it did betray. Fuck it. Yeah, the computer did betray me. Absolutely. Absolutely betrayed me. Feel very betrayed.
Feel very betrayed.
Yeah.
Sam Rogers likes Spider-Man 2 the best.
Let's see. Sorry. What? Oh, yeah, Spider-Man 2. I liked it, but I don't think it's better than the first one. I've seen it a bunch of times, and I like it. It's a lot slower, but which is fine. I forgot how much slower it is. I like it a lot. I don't think it's better than that. Also, fun fact about Phenomenova, it was 64 pages. My artist goes, can I make the last panel of him looking excited its own splash page? And I was like, I don't know. He goes, I was just thinking. And he goes, and I had just rewatched Spider-Man 2. He goes, that ending scene where Mary Jane's looking and she just kind of knows and it just shows her face before she swings out to the city. You know that scene? He referenced that as what his inspiration was for just the panel of him looking like that, or the splash page of him looking like that. And I'm like, all right, you just referenced Spider-Man, Raimi movies. You get what you want. Like, yeah.
Extra
splash page.
The Raimi movies are the goats. That's the best trilogy of Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Although I believe at this point now, after watching No Way Home, I think Andrew Garfield should get his third movie. So at least they all have 3 films. But I mean, it's kind of how people feel about Black Panther. They feel like Black Panther could be replaced too, which is a rumor going around that he's going to be replaced. Like they're going to actually put T'Challa in there now. Now doesn't make any sense. So Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, unfortunately, they are erasing Toby's line about Bonesaw's husband. A lot of TV edits are removing it. Really interesting.
Well, they didn't in that. I was looking for that in the theater version. They didn't in theaters. That the original line was still there.
Okay.
But TV edits are, which is incredibly stupid. That's so dumb.
I mean, I own physical copies of the trilogy, so
I think I have them too. I'll have to double check on them, make sure they were not tampered. That's a problem again. So my digital copies, I have no intention of ever altering them. But in case, well, even then the PDFs, I mean, you'll still have the PDFs. So really, you don't have. I was gonna almost say like a case for physical, but in my case, it's fine because you'll be fine. But either way, yeah, there will be no censorship here in UBEC Phenomenova.
What's up, TMS? Says, so he likes the Spider-Man version of Venom versus the Venom films.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I don't think either is ideal. To be honest with you,
Tom Hardy was better. I feel like
how do you have Venom without Spider-Man though? Like they both suck, in my opinion.
I mean, they've been doing that for a while. You got Morbius without Spider-Man, Craven without Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they were all terrible ideas.
Web without Spider-Man. I mean, what can you do? And now it's dead. Now that whole thing is dead. Including the possibility of Miles Morales not getting his third movie. So
that's not going to happen?
They've been saying it possibly might not happen.
Oh. Because of what?
I don't know,
there was like a strike or something, right?
Possibly, it could be I think that is.
Listen, I like Spider-Man 3. I'm not, but I just, I was like, man, this movie's like goofy. It was like, I don't think I realized how goofy it was until I was like really watching them this last time back to back.
I only watched the first Venom. So, Spider-Man 3 is underrated, says Shadow Dancer. Welcome in. Garfield says Topher Grace was worse. Tom Hardy did a better job. I agree. I'm in agreement with that. He just says they both suck. So
well, I'm not saying I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to rewatch it. I think maybe he did Tom Hardy did a better job. It's better casting, Tom Hardy, I guess, I just didn't give a shit, man. Like I just don't care. Like, but the second Venom movie was so dumb. Carnage and Venom fight one time in the entire movie. How does that happen? Are you kidding?
I guess Sony didn't plan that movie out as well as, the Tom Holland Spider-Man films.
That was insane.
I mean, that's a Sony project. That's not a Disney Marvel project. That's a Sony project. So you got to blame them. Just so you know, guys know the campaign link is at the top of the stream. It's pinned to the top if you want to go ahead and back the campaign. It's going to be an awesome campaign. And you've gotten even some spoilers into issue 3, that issue 3 will be even longer than issue 2.
Yeah. Issue 3 it'll have the team. It'll be we're kind of snapping back and forth, and then we're going to have things loop back around in 4. But yeah, that's what we're doing.
And also there is a fan art contest with this as well.
Yes,
about
I
that.
don't. I've been doing a terrible job promoting that. So there is a fan art contest. The winner will get their piece featured in the back of the book, much like with issue 1. There is a fan art piece in the back of the book. So if you want it, yeah. So if you want it, make sure you get it. That is the best thing you could do. So yeah, that's one of the things I recommend doing is if you're interested. It's free to submit. You use the hashtag, you promote it on socials, and you never know. You might have a shot of getting it featured. Any Phenomenova characters you want, follow the rules, and you can submit too. And the winner will get their piece featured in the back of Phenomenova issue 2.
And you actually received the book as well.
Yes, you will. You will receive the book. The book is fully lettered. Like I said, we're just going to make sure everything's with the editor, and then we can start getting ready for the printer.
Hell yeah.
So that's really exciting to me.
With your help, we got to get you funded. So.
Oh yeah.
Also, Venom 2's end credit scene went nowhere. Like I said, I didn't watch Venom 2 or 3.
What was the end credit scene? I don't even remember. That's how forgettable that movie was.
I don't think the Venom movies are particularly great, but I think they're fun action movies, says Chloe. Shadow Dancer says when they do fight, it's a visual spectacle. Do you agree?
I barely remember it, but I just was like, so like done. I just didn't give a shit about the movie at all. So when they were fighting, I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know. I just think they're bad movies. Like I can enjoy them, I guess, but I was just like, this is such corporate slop. Like, I mean, maybe I'd have to rewatch the end fight scene. Maybe it was like I do remember liking the end fight scene. But I remember going, that's it. Carnage and Venom is built up as this threat that's stronger than Venom, right? But you never see him beat Venom at any point. They just say he's stronger, and you see him do Venom Carnage things. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, imagine if like the Green Goblin and Spider-Man only fight the one time. Like, the reason why that's so satisfying is because there's all those fights. It's why it works. And then, I don't know. To me, it just didn't work.
So he says there you go.
Tom Hardy's. Oh, that's right. Tom Hardy ends up in the MCU. Oh, my God, that's right. He ends up in the MCU, and then he gets sent right back. Dumbest. And what was the reason he left? So he left the symbiote behind in the MCU? My friends and I had a joke that it was like, because it bothered me that there were 5 villains in Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Instead of Sinister Six, there were 1 away. And my friend was like, well, yeah, no, there was 6. It was just Venom was in the bar the whole time. He didn't get the memo. So, I don't know.
Master Hobo says that he backed the day 1, so you're welcome, Cloud, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Cloud says, I wish we could truly get Venom representation in a movie or game. Spider-Man 3 movie was ass. Venom 1 through 3 are Spider-Man list, and Spider-Man 2 game is ass.
I haven't played the Spider-Man 2 game. I really like the first one, though. I really like the first one, but I never.
It's coming to PC in about a week. So.
Oh, is it? Maybe I should stop buying games on good consoles.
And then Rebirth comes out in 5 days on Steam as well.
Well, I put that's one of those games. Like I'm already this far into Sonic X Shadow Generations. Even though I got it on the wrong console, like I'm already excited to play Sonic Generations again. I'm already excited to play the original Sonic games again. Rebirth, if I do, I'm not doing all the goddamn side quests again. Like that was fucking horrible. But I'm not playing it on PC. Like I'll just watch the cutscenes in higher graphics if need be.
Spider-Man 3 didn't have a good Eddie Brock. He wasn't really against Venom.
Yeah. No, he wasn't really Eddie Brock. I need to read some comics with Venom. I don't know if I've actually read comics with Venom, to be honest. Because I've read a lot of the 60s stuff. I've read some Hobgoblin, like 80s stuff. I don't know. I've read the 70s, like Death of Gwen Stacy. I don't think I've read any of that. I don't think I've read that.
Fair enough. Venom 2's end credit put Tom Hardy into the MCU universe, but then the No Way Home end credit scene sent him right back, leaving just a tiny sample of Venom behind. Tayamat says Holland is too much of a twink or bad style. He doesn't like his story. The other No Way Home Spider-Man can't get. Also, the new anime show is weird. Oh yeah, he has some words for that one. The new friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, because even Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, "What does Vaughn think about the trans Black Harry Osborn?"
Yeah, I mean, I reacted to it on stream. I was like,
Yeah,
none of these characters. If you had told me, like, none of these characters look anything like the characters. If you had just lined them up and said, like, if you wouldn't be able to recognize them.
Mm-hmm.
As Spider-Man, like, it's like I was like, who are these characters? Well, that's Harry. Looks so bad. It looked terrible.
Oh yeah, and it's based on a comic of the exact same name as well. So yeah, it's based on they made a comic for it called The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Adventures that they released.
Why?
I don't know. And I think on the first issue on the first issue, I believe the cover they did was like supposed to be a homage to Amazing Fantasy 15's cover, but they did it with that new Spider-Man and that Harry Osborn on the front cover.
Wait, hang on. I'm confused. Wait, is this series set in the MCU?
I don't think so.
No.
Let me see if I can find it.
They're like trying to do like the 60s aesthetics, but it's like it's not anything like those comics from what I've seen. They're just trying to like do the aesthetic. It's like, see, fellow geeks, it's like, dude, did you read the Stan Lee comics? That's what it seems like.
No.
Yeah, they definitely didn't.
I think they did it for it might have been for the actual show where they did that homage to Amazing Fantasy 15's cover, like famous cover.
Yeah.
And it looks horrible. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Yeah, here he is. You see, look at this.
It's the. Yeah. No, I saw that. Yeah.
This looks terrible. What is this? This looks like
listen,
like shit.
There's which way? There's Phenomenova or there's this, guys. You know what I mean? Come on. That's all I gotta say. What's my response to this? Phenomenova. There we go. So.
Oh yeah, 100 times.
100 times. Look at my cover.
100 times Phenomenova. What does Vaughn think? I already asked that. So far, the best non-comic representation of Venom is Marvel Rivals. Somehow they managed to make Venom more nude in Marvel Rivals with a mod.
What? Did they do that? Because I've heard
they did a mod. Yes,
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard they did. I've heard that people are already, because people were like, "Oh, we should block them from doing stuff with the models in Marvel Rivals." I'm like, you can't. You won't stop these people. Like they're gonna do.
They found
it's over
for it. It's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how hard you try to make it. Like they will.
Yeah. Master Opal says you should read Venom Lethal Protector. It's a good short Venom run.
Yeah, I've been told that I need to read.
Yeah, there's also this.
Okay. I believe it. I have no difficulty believing that.
Nope. I can't wait to see what the Eve mods are going to be and the Tifa mods are going to be for Rebirth.
Oh yeah, I've already been seeing them.
My favorite mod with Tifa and Cloud is Morrigan and Spider-Man. That's the best. Have you seen that?
No.
They did a mod for Tifa and Remake where she's Morrigan and Cloud is Spider-Man.
Interesting.
That's fucking awesome. It's supposed to be based on like this. In Marvel vs. Capcom, there's a speech that they have between each other where it sounds like they're a thing in that game.
Okay.
That's kind of the meme.
So this is understanding that Cloud and Tifa are together, but that's different. Yeah. Dude, pissing off the shipping community was so funny. Like that was such a fun story.
Oh yeah, that's where they got that from, where they made Cloud into Spider-Man and they made Tifa into Morgan. It looks really good though. If you look that up,
I like Cloud and Tifa as Cloud and Tifa personally.
but trust me, Tifa looks good as Morrigan.
No,
It
I'm
was
sure.
supposed to be set in the MCU,
I've
but they
seen
scrapped
clips of
that concept. Says Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. According to the Spider-Verse movies, that show would indeed be MCU canon because multiverse. And this is the best promotion you can get. Read Phenomenova 2 while you play Marvel Rivals.
I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, you just
These
have
are
it in
teams
one
that
hand,
need
and
yeah, I wouldn't do that.
yeah, we know. Okay. Any final thoughts you want to give on this campaign to the viewers?
No, just I mean we're closer. We're one step closer today than we were yesterday. So just keep on backing, guys. Let's see if we can get over that goal and spread the word around. And let's keep going. We're at 5% away. We're like $200 away from being funded, which is just great, man.
And just remember when you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, go ahead.
I don't think I have more to say. Oh, I was just gonna say, and just remember when you guys when Phenomenova issue 2 gets funded, you do get the
the hotline card. That is may or may not.
the Sukeisha Ray card.
Well, you could probably get her to sign that. She'd love it. No, but the Dan Dahl, who his stuff is great. Dan Dahl's art. You get when that gets funded, you get that, and then 10K. We will get another trading card. The more backers you get, also. So if you already backed it, there's reasons to promote it because you guys get more stuff if more people back it. And again, there's digital options, there's physical options. Whatever you decide, just know it's there. So back this book, and it'll be in your hands shortly. But we got to make sure it gets funded first. And we're mostly there. Again, and considering that it's January, that is very good. And
Master Hobo loves the word free. Because I already steal his lunch money every month. That's a joke we have here. Is that me and Master Hobo, we quote unquote fight between Akira and Ninja Scroll of what's better, and apparently I steal his lunch money every month in memberships. That's the jokes that we've created here.
Gotcha.
But so he says, final thoughts: the hands of justice will come for you, Vaughn.
All right.
And Master Hobo says, Hypnotic already helped Mugen Lord. I'm sure Hypnotic wouldn't mind helping Vaughn out.
All right, awesome. I'll have to.
Like I said, he's pretty easy to get a hold of. You kind of just DM him, and
okay, cool.
I'm sure he'll. If anything, I can maybe ask. But he's pretty easy to get a hold of. I mean, he pretty much should answer you on Twitter.
All right, sounds good.
He's a really good dude. His
Yuffie
audience
is not
very
a bad choice.
Receptive to a lot, but yeah. And
Yuffie was great.
What could end up happening possibly? I know it's gonna sound crazy, but you never know. This character of Hotline can end up as a waifu on a Hypnotic waifu battle. You never know.
See, yeah, she just does tech. Again, well, all right. I don't want to doubt. You know what? She'll win. Fuck it. It's my character. I have to say.
I mean, he just recently did
the fight.
He did Tifa against Quiztiz recently.
Who's Quiztiz? She's probably inferior to Tifa, but who is
she? She's the teacher character in Final Fantasy VIII. She's the hot blonde teacher. Yeah, she's the hot blonde teacher character in Final Fantasy VIII.
All right, let's see this chick.
But yes, I'm gonna say I agree with you.
All right, yeah, she already looks inferior to Tifa. Come on.
But he'll use different versions of them to make them look way better than they are. I'm sure Hypnotic knows a Vaughn. I'm sure he does.
Yeah. All right. So I'll reach out. I'll reach out to him.
Yeah. And if, of course, there's also a 15K goal where you get Rebel Oasis sticker. And if you reach 20K across all 3 campaigns, which is going to be Kickstarter, Fund My Comic, and Indiegogo.
Yeah. Then, I will get those issue 3 covers revealed.
Yeah.
Which means I'll get them done. There is issue 3. I get the main cover for the next book into the budget of the previous book. So issue 3 cover is already being drawn because regardless of how far we get into the book, when you turn the page, you are going to see the issue 3 cover, just like you saw the issue 2 cover in issue 1. Same thing with issue 3. So that's already being worked on.
And just know that this book is complete. You will get this. This is actually a pre-order campaign, so the book is done.
Yeah. Well, we are funding printing costs. So yeah.
Yes. So for the most part, the book is done. Just basically, you're funding the books to be printed and shipped to you. So if you are new to this story and world, you can always get the physical catch-up pack, just right up here, or you get the mass print cover of Phenomenova issue 1, and you get to choose out of the 4 here.
Exactly. And on top of that, you can also buy issue 1 on my website right now if you want. It's cheaper, obviously, on shipping to order both at once. But if you're like unsure if you want issue 2, you can buy issue 1 from my website right now. You could also get the PDF of it, of issue 1, or read the first 10 pages, or read it all in Global Comics if you go there. So either way, make sure to check that out.
Oh yeah,
you got options.
Yes. Oh yeah, you guys rock in the chat. I appreciate you all for being here. I appreciate you coming on once again, Vaughn. And
thank you for having me.
I'm really hoping and praying that your campaign will be another success, because I want to see this story push forward. And you're very enthusiastic about this universe. That's the biggest thing that people love about independent creators, is that they are passionate about the characters and universes they are creating. And when you create something that people can relate to, or people are loving, they want to see it continue, they want to see it grow, and they want to continue to follow the story of characters that they like in these type of stories. So if you had to sum up what this universe and what this character is about, how would you do that?
So Miles Ainsley, in an age of cynicism and stuff like that, in an age of cynicism, Phenomenova is a reconstitution and a reconstruction in an age of deconstruction. So Galvanite, Miles Ainsley, is someone who grew up with the examples of the heroes, but didn't quite know the rules. And now he's learning what it takes to become a superhero. It's a real trial by fire. And so basically what we're seeing is the next generation of superhero rising up, being trained by the previous generation. We're talking World War III veterans are training heroes that are going to now have to follow in their footsteps. And we're seeing that kind of coming to fruition in issue 2. So Phenomenova is the name of the team, but the main character is Galvanite. And eventually you're going to see him kind of like how My Hero Academia starts with him molding into eventually becoming, like, going to the school by, I think, episode 3. It's kind of the same thing here, right? Where it's similar, at least. It's different enough. But we're seeing our main character being we're entering into the world of Phenomenova, where he's going to be their newest member of this generation. And again, Phenomenova is being trained by veterans who fought during the war. So it is basically a superhero story that's new, but it's also paying respects to all that came before. And that is something that I think is important. Legacy is a very big theme, as well as selflessness and just some really cool action, some cool characters. And I think people will really like it. People really liked issue 1, and I think people will like issue 2 as well.
So yes, if you like to back the comic today, it is pinned to the top of the chat. And it will be in the description of this live stream. And this live stream will be available on the replay for anyone who has missed it. And I appreciate you all for being here. Again, thank you, Vaughn, for coming on and having this discussion with me to further discuss the universe of Phenomenova issue 2 into issue 3, by the way. And I appreciate the mods. I appreciate the people who are channel members. And if you'd like to become a channel member and join in on members only content, you can just hit the join button for just $1 a month. You can get exclusive live stream emojis, as well as exclusive members only content that you can't get anywhere else. So awesome. I appreciate y'all for being here again, and I will see you all on the next.
And by the way, guys, because Chloe was asking, you guys can follow me onto my channel after this. It's my name, Vaughn Coleman. There will be V-Man Gaming. I'm going to finish up Sonic X Shadows Generations tonight, hopefully. Well, no, Sonic Generations, not the Shadow part. So join me.
Yeah, so go join Vaughn over there. Subscribe to put it in the private chat so I can. Let me see if I can. Can I actually make you a mod here? Type in the chat if you can. I'll make you a mod. All right. You can just do it yourself. And just make sure you
MSK real quick. Well, I guess he would have said hello, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would. He did.
Hello? Yeah.
Hello? Yeah.
All right. Am I modded?
Let me see. Hold on a second. For some reason it's not showing up on this. And here it is. As a moderator. Yeah. There you go. So you should be able to put in your links. Make sure you tell them where they can find you. They can find him on his Vaughn Coleman channel, where he discusses things like comic books, recently put out a very good Sonic the Hedgehog 4 video based on the character that was revealed at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. If you want to go and subscribe to him, and he'll be going live on that channel.
Yeah. I'll be doing some gaming right after this, but thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me on and for promoting. It's been great.
What's up, Gino?
We'll have to play Marvel Rivals sometime.
Yes, absolutely. I gotta learn how to play it first. Then we can do that.
Oh, you should have seen me. Well, I learned over the course of 8 hours, but I was pretty bad. I think I'm okay with one character, but yeah, So I wouldn't swear.
I would play more of a tank class or a healing class.
So you'd actually be useful, unlike me. Okay.
These type of games with his roles, I always play a tank or.
I used to do that too in Overwatch, but anyway, we'll talk about this some other time. But
y'all have a great night. Appreciate y'all.
See you guys.